Hello, hello, hello. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Oh.
There you go, Eric.
Yeah, you know what I realized? I just realized my wireless Bluetooth on my earbuds were on.
That'll get
I
you.
couldn't hear you, so I'm like, what the hell's going on?
That's funny. That's funny.
Yo, I am going to join from my other computer real quick. All right.
Okay, cool.
Hold on,
Sounds
I'm
good.
just typing in the meeting password right now.
Hi, Joe.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Whoa, Messy Hole. That's a name I haven't seen in a while. They just said hello in the chat. What's up, Messy Hole? How are you guys?
Yo, what's
When are you coming
crack-a-lackin',
back down to New
everyone?
Jersey? That's what my question is. We owe them a good hunt. They came down and hunted with us. Man, was that two?
You broke up, Trey. Nobody heard you.
There we go.
Nice.
I hope my
Up there,
internet's
you.
not crapping out on me.
Yeah, you're freezing up again, buddy.
All right, I'm sticking on this computer. No background this time. Next time, go. As Trey's on frozen.
Am I back? I'm
He
sorry,
is
guys.
back.
You're back.
Oh, he's gone again.
Physically gone at this point. Oh man,
Mike, you're gonna have to take over.
that's okay. I'm ready. Heavy is the head that wears the proverbial crown. So,
Wow, pretty
you
deep
know.
there. That was deep.
right. Oh man. All right.
No, he's
Am I,
back.
am I
cracking,
working
Ezra?
here?
You're
We
working.
got everyone in the chat today. Right.
I posted on Facebook, so hopefully we get more people in here.
Right. Fingers crossed, but drum up some traffic. Oh man. I'll tell you what, give me 1 second. Let me just grab my water real quick. BRB.
No, we lost Trey.
Yeah, he'll be
Go.
back. We're gonna have to. Somebody's gonna have to let him back in. I don't know who turns into the host.
Nah, probably Mike. I don't think I do.
I think it's me. I don't know. I guess it might be you because you were the third in.
So how the heck do I even turn him back on? I have no idea. Is he gonna say something?
Yeah, it's like there's a tab you click onto, and when he pops in, make him host. So I hope everybody's doing good tonight. Had a good week so far. I had a great week last week.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, man. I had a copperhead day.
You did. I'm jealous.
Dude, you had a killer day, man.
Hey, Mike, we lost Trey again.
Okay. Well, you know what? The less the merrier. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how to work it at this point. What do I do with my hands? No, yeah, you had a killer day, Eric. That was whoo, I was peanut butter and jealous to say the least. Dang.
That was a killer day. And we were
Now,
already
was
out
that-
there for like 5 hours.
Well, and that was part of the day you live streamed recently, correct? Or no?
Yeah,
Okay. Because I was watching some of the holes the other day. I was like, oh, this is great, which is, I think, so cool. The live digging is really neat. I mean, completely unfiltered. Obviously, have to watch the cussing, which is a problem for me, but
Right.
still pretty sharp, man. I liked it a lot. I mean, you had some good, good. Not conversation, I guess, because you were talking to an open end, but it was good, chatting.
Well, you have to. I mean, who wants to watch?
Right, it's just quiet.
Quiet.
Oh my god, yeah. So no, I really liked it.
I dug that Merc, man. I still can't believe it was reading iron.
Dude, I was listening to the tone and watching you go around. I'm like, okay, what is it? And then I saw you, and you're like, dude, Had no idea this was going to be silver. There was no way that was, again, goes back to what we said a million times in the few short live streams we've done. You got to dig it all, every signal, regardless of your detector, got to dig it all.
Yeah. You know how many of that number I passed over that day?
Right.
That's killer right there, right?
Yeah,
They
and
rewind
that's
your
like,
mind.
oh man.
It just opens the floodgates of the memories of all those tones where you're like, screw it. I mean, even in my backyard, I mean, Trey, I don't have the 6-inch coil yet myself, and Trey let me borrow it. And I hit a tone. I dug a silver ring in my backyard, and that tone, it was arguably one of the scratchiest tones. And I was just so desperate not to dig a 39 square nail consistently. And they're all over my backyard, but it was scratchy and it still came. And I was like, you know what? It's not a square nail. Let me just see. And it was a silver ring. No idea.
Yeah.
The show must go on.
Oh, the cat dragged you back in?
You guys ever heard of never leave a man behind? Holy cow. It's just, I could hear it from the stream. Mike said, the less the merrier.
Right. Sorry, Trey. Honestly,
we
had a full
loyalty
poll.
is
We had a full poll with
really
all
thin.
12 viewers, and they said, you're out of here, man.
I got voted out mostly by Ezra and Messiol. So, those two were fun to hunt with. We were hoping we hit one of our old faithful permissions, and for some reason it just didn't produce the way that we thought it was. And then, of course, afterwards I go back and find a Real and stuff like that. But I think he found a fatty. And then we went to a permission that we had all hunted not last weekend, but a couple weekends ago. And we didn't find anything. So we tried 4 different houses and it just didn't produce.
That was just a metal detecting workout. That's all it really was. Just going through the motions.
My right bicep is ginormous now. That's for sure.
Right.
I didn't get to say hello to everyone. Hi, Brian. I'm glad that you got our sticker. I sent those out and I wrote him a little note. But now everybody's got to get the updated sticker, which is on its way, I think. Yeah, Joe?
Yeah, absolutely. Soon.
Nice.
Hopefully by Monday, Tuesday.
Yeah, so we'll get some new stickers with the new logo, which has gotten a lot of compliments. So I'm glad we switched it up. It's always nice for a little bit of a change, which is good. How's everybody doing? Anybody finding some cool stuff lately?
Eric and his Copperhead
besides
Day.
Freaking Brotherhood, they're always pulling stupid stuff all the time.
I will say, speaking of stickers real quick, Eric, that big boy sticker, I just got a new Yeti cooler, and the first thing that came to mind, I waited to text you, and I was going to text you, but I waited to the live stream. Finally have a dope spot to put that big Brotherhood sticker. I'm so excited.
Sweet. That's cool.
Okay.
Yeah, that's awesome. We have some fun things to do tonight. One thing I definitely want to talk about is Finn's treasure, of course. It's the biggest news in metal detecting or treasure hunting world. So we'll get to that probably first. And then we are going to unbox
Don't do that.
a new detector.
Dun, dun, dun.
It's going to be super exciting. Thank you to Andy. He sent his field team a brand new detector. What I want you guys to do is guess which machine it is.
Yeah.
And if you already know, if we told you, that's a little unfair, but a lot of the people in the chat don't know what it is. So guess what it is. It is not, well, you know what? I'll let you guys guess.
No spoilers, yeah.
There's
only X amount of detectors it possibly could be, right?
Yeah. If you guys need a new detector, accessories, or anything, definitely hit Andy up at We Dig Metal Detectors. Go to the website or Facebook him. He's always available, but
super responsive.
I've
seen Andy reply quicker than most of the times I even see notifications.
Yeah, I don't think he sleeps.
Huh?
Right?
I don't think the guy sleeps, and I think his
Guy's on top of it.
Drop his packages off.
Yeah, Tyler says the Apex. I knew that was going to be one of the guesses, so I guess we'll have to find out if that's what it is or not. But I'm excited to see, what comes with it, and then I'm excited to use it and test it out against its opponents. So, in other news, my fiance is sitting upstairs. We are back home in Kansas City, and we are going to be married next Friday, which is exciting. But the news that she doesn't know is I'm going to be a Simplex owner here coming soon. So,
Sorry.
one of Joe's buddies offered me a deal I couldn't refuse. So I am going to purchase it and have a backup detector. So,
Wow.
yeah, can you believe
Wow.
it? I'll
Big
be part of
things.
the old Nocta family there, but I will definitely be using the Equinox 100% of the time and having that as a backup. So I have 100% faith in the 600, but you never know what's going to happen. So
Oh man,
joining the
that's exciting.
Nocta group. So
Right, right.
so first of all, like I said, let's get to the Finn's treasure. How crazy was that?
Wild, wild.
It was nuts.
So you know what's funny? When I first got into this hobby, I was at the metal detecting store in Central Jersey. I think he might have shut down his brick and mortar, but he is still open and doing digital sales and stuff like that. But I was physically in his store, and a lady came in, and she said she was looking for a metal detector so she could go hunting for a treasure. And at this point, I had no idea what she was talking about. So I kind of laughed at her. And she said she was going to Arizona, I think, is where she thought it was. She might have said New Mexico, but I think it was Arizona. And at that point, I thought the lady was insane.
Right.
And then as we went on, I heard about the actual treasure, and I thought, oh, that's a really, really cool idea. But I was like, there's no way anyone's going to find this. So, what are the odds that it's actually real and it's actually out there? And then freaking someone finds it. That's insane.
Wild. I mean,
I haven't seen any pictures like of the actual. I mean, I've seen pictures, but is that like that treasure chest that they keep showing the pictures of? Is that just kind of like a placeholder for
that's what I wasn't
thinking
sure.
that's
I
what it
mean, I
was.
know it is a bunch of just like chunks of gold, and there's some
Jules.
other jewels and precious metals in there. So I imagine, I don't know. I want to think that it looks like that, but again, I can't estimate the value of just chunks of gold in a box. So I don't know. They said what, between 1 and 5 million estimated value total. I've seen more stuff floating around the 1 million line, but
Yeah, I heard 1 million.
yeah. I mean, listen, if I had $1 million in gold and jewels floating around, I wouldn't be burying them out in the middle of the Rockies or wherever it was. But hey, that's just me, What I thought was interesting too is, obviously it's a big deal in our community, right? In the treasure hunting community overall. And
Yeah.
the delay that it took, and it's a big deal, period, right? Not so often stuff like this is like I'm sure eventually there will be a movie about it, whether it be on Lifetime or hitting the big screen near you, who knows? But right, there'll be something about it, and the delay in the treasure hunting community, and then it hitting the news, it's wild.
And you know what's funny about this is the guy who actually put out the treasure, right? As the treasure was going on, there were so many. Forrest Finn is his name. There were so many people that were naysaying, kind of like me, like, yeah, this might not be true. He was sued. I know at least once, but maybe a couple of times.
Times.
For like fraudulent
Wrongful death.
claims and
Yeah.
bad,
The people
which is
getting injured
nuts
and
to
stuff.
me.
Yeah.
And the department begged them to stop it.
Right.
Well,
I mean,
because
listen, what's that?
no, keep going.
I was just going to say, at the end of the day, I mean, it is a double-edged sword, right? Was it 3+ people died at least on the search for it? I mean, and listen, are you going to get absolute amateurs who just go out with no sort of preparation? Yeah, absolutely. But when you put $1 million out there, I mean, I don't know. I think he's. I think that since it's legit now, obviously all those lawsuits are moot at this point, and if you had proof, whatever, then it's real, it's legit, and it's his to do. But I mean, I can imagine what a fiasco that was from a national park standpoint, and just like emergency response team, so in Messy Hole heard 5 people died. So if 5 people died, think about how many people didn't but had to get extracted via helicopter or something like that, and the resources out there. I mean, I can see the opposite side of the fence.
I think he was pretty clear, though, like the treasure was hidden in somewhere that wouldn't put you in any imminent danger.
Right.
So, come on,
People
dummies.
were arrested.
Let's
Some
go.
people were arrested, with this whole thing too. So they must have been digging in places they shouldn't have been digging at.
Yeah.
They said there was 350,000 people that attempted to find this treasure.
Yeah, Ezra just brought up, and I didn't hear this, but he
Yeah,
said what
nor had
interests
I.
me is that he gives the finder claim to the gold and not the other treasure.
That's just
So,
for aesthetics.
yeah, what? That's crazy to me. He probably buried it and was like, ah, shoot, I shouldn't have put that in there. That was my grandma's ring.
Right.
Remember, he was
Can I get that
supposed to
back?
die.
He's
I
like,
mean, he wasn't even supposed to be around.
yeah, that's true.
You
That's
know?
Oh,
true.
yeah.
And they said they were supposed to put his ashes into that same box for somebody to find it.
I would not want that part of the treasure. I can tell you
Yeah,
that.
But just
Like,
you know, and then get over.
I can appreciate
Sorry.
the thought, but I won't take the
Here,
ashes.
let me dig through
along
your,
with it.
you know, incinerated remains to get to this. I mean, would I? Yeah. Would I like it? No, but I would do it. I mean, $1 million is $1 million.
Yeah. What I'm thinking though, and I don't know for the people that are in the chat right now, I would love to do that on a smaller scale. And
Yeah.
companies like Garrett have done it for like promotions for them as well. But I would like to hide like $50 and stuff like there with stickers that are attached to it and stuff like
That'd be
that, and
cool.
kind of give random clues throughout. We're on the East Coast, so I do it on the East Coast and random clues throughout, and then maybe even spread it out to, you know, I'm in, you know, in Kansas City right now, so like doing it when I'm back home and stuff like that. That way everyone gets a chance to look for it if they know.
So it's kind of like
Paul?
geocaching,
I
right?
was going to say the same thing as geocaching.
Yeah, it's like it's exactly like geocaching. Yeah.
Yeah, which I haven't really delved into. Have you guys at all? I mean,
Yeah, I geocaching is a like a super fun activity to do.
I was gonna say, yeah.
Like if you're with somebody too, it's really fun they have different apps now that will bring you somewhat close, but you still have to use that like treasure hunting,
sense.
you know, yeah, that,
Well,
you know, that's skills.
It's the same thing for metal detecting when you get a big empty farm field and you're like, all right, running through every possible scenario of layout and saying, okay, there's a slight elevation there. That's kind of flat over there. Okay, it looks like it runs water down it. What would be, you know, and you got to use that intuitiveness that, you know, you pick up. And I think, you know, us in the metal detecting community obviously have that historical mindset, at least in the,
Yeah.
you get a little bit more of a better picture on what might be
But
up there.
and I would love to, instead of like just hiding it somewhere, I would love to incorporate, you know, metal detecting into it,
Yeah.
make sure it's a legal spot, hide it, plug it. No one's gonna miss a $50 that's facing straight up.
Right,
So,
right, exactly.
I mean, if you could do that and, you know,
Yeah, that'd be
maybe
really
make
cool.
a game out of it, which would be really great. Maybe that clue leads to a different clue or something along those lines.
That could be really cool.
Hey, Trey, Paul made it into the chat.
I know, I see that. Hey, Paul, what's going on? That's going to be the guy hooking me up with a simplex. So
There we go.
I am super appreciative. Now, I will tell you this, and he's a metal detectorist, but he says he doesn't own a computer. That is mind-blowing because I do most of my research
Yeah.
on a computer to find different permissions and stuff like that. So what is he doing? What are you doing, Paul? How do you freaking live?
2 tin cans and a piece of string, you know. Come on.
Oh yeah, he's got his doweling rods and he's just
yeah.
That's what it is. Okay, I can't believe that, man. Living without a computer. I got freaking 4 sitting around me right now. I don't even.
Yeah. Well, you know, it's funny you brought that up. I was sitting, you know, obviously working from home, and I've got, you know, my personal computer here, which I use for metal detecting research and some D&D stuff. And then I have my work computer and I'm in my living room and I'm facing my bedroom door. And I realized like what a 2020 problem to have. I had, including my 2 phones, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 screens, just all within eye shot. And it's like, you rewind even back to just like 2001. And you're like, I was thinking this just today of like, I remember my parents getting the first cell phones, you know, and being like, oh God, I got to remember more phone numbers. And now it's like, it's just so commonplace. And from a resource perspective for metal detecting, it's just absolutely, you know, invaluable. And then a phone gets the job done either way.
Can you guys remember the landline of the house that you were growing up in?
Oh yeah, it's still the same. So
Oh, it is?
I don't think there's actually a phone there, but it's definitely still the same.
I still remember mine too. Because I had so many people call it, or I called it so many times. So
yeah,
I don't know if it still exists. Maybe I'll call it. So, DF Digger, I guess, has some stuff hidden up in Maine. That would be pretty cool.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Speaking of technology, there's a lot of apps out there that help people with metal detecting. What are some of the apps that you guys use in the chat? We'll bring up some of the stuff that we use.
Yeah.
First of all, I use and Mike uses Onyx.
Yeah.
Eric, have you used Onyx before?
No, I usually
I
mostly
use-
historic aerials type stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually bought Onyx for bow hunting, and then lo and behold, forgot to unsubscribe, and that was, quite a few years back. And then metal detecting became a hobby, a couple 2 years ago, and it just worked out perfect.
Yeah. Yeah. Onyx is it's expensive. So
Yeah.
if you're thinking about getting it, it is very pricey. I think it's what, $100 a year or something like that, depending on what
Is it?
state
Oh,
you use.
wow. I really regret not unsubscribing for the years I didn't use it.
That much.
Dang. I
It's
thought it was like
expensive, but
$39, but I
Yeah.
probably am grossly wrong.
Oh, maybe it is. Maybe it got a little bit cheaper as you go.
I don't
but
know.
For some reason, I'm saying it's really good because you subscribe to the state that you're in, and it gives you the landowner or the most recent recorded landowner of a property. So you at least can start there when you're talking about, the size of the property, where the lines are, and then who owns it to reach out to them and, try to get permission, which is good.
It's only $29.99 a year.
Okay,
Yeah,
so I don't know.
It's
why that-
$100 a year for elite, but I think that gives you like access to the country versus your individual
Yeah.
state.
Correct.
Oh, that's what it is. Okay.
Makes
Yeah.
me feel a whole lot better.
So that's one of the
3 years
apps.
of unused-
A different app that we like to use, or we haven't used in a while, but we've used before, is Gaia. Have you guys heard of Gaia?
Yeah.
So Gaia Maps is actually an app that has historical maps stored in it already. So what you can do is use it as an overlay to maps that exist now. And it's awesome. It's awesome. And I believe you can upload maps into it as well, but it's a little more difficult. But you can see an overlay for the historical map to the map that's on it now. So it's a really good map to use when you're trying to, get your bearings on where you're at and where the roads used to be and where the houses used to be. So that's a really good one. I know Mike and I have used even Google Earth. That was
yeah.
up, right?
That's a great free resource to just be able to layer in maps.
Yeah. Historical.
And one that we really haven't, I used it the one day we were at GrowRo, and I think it's got a lot of potential. And I think there's other metal detecting specific ones starting to hit the market, if you will. But I use Map My Run, which I believe is a Under Armour app or Nike or something like that. But Map My Run, I actually just left it running. Not obviously very phone battery efficient, but at the end of the day, it did track my path pretty well in trying to grid a field. And trying to grid is the big word there, because I looking back at it, it was not so much of a grid as much as it was a loose pattern of squiggly lines. But you know how that goes.
So I was talking to PA Pirate Paul at one point, and he actually draws personal maps of the fields that he's hunting and then pinpoints each find in the field so he can kind of see if there's any hot spots that he may have to go back to and dig a little bit deeper. Do you guys do that?
See, chat, talk to us, yeah. But I will say, with that too, and Paul's got a great point. It's a double-edged sword, right? Because and you have to do it initially, no matter what, especially in a farm field. You go out there, you slam one awesome target, and you're like, okay, I've got a coin, or I've got a sweet buckle, or an awesome button, or something like that. And you're like, got to be more around there. And when you think about it in the scheme of things, it's like blackjack, or not black, it's like roulette, right? It's either going to be there or it's not going to be there, other stuff, but you have to give it a crack at it. And there's times where I found myself just like pounding an area thinking, okay, I found this one coin. And lo and behold, it's the one coin in that area. You know?
And that's it. That's all that you
But
find.
Paul's maps are so great because, he obviously puts a lot of time and he really kind of thoroughly goes through these hotspots regardless. And you can see the just from one specific pinpoint, it kind of just expands out and the targets you find.
Yeah. I know one of the skills that I see on the Hoover boys all the time is you find one thing in the middle of a field and you do that spiral effect around it, which I find myself doing every single time I find something that's in a farm field like that. And even when I'm in a yard, I still find myself doing that just because you spiral that area, you have a little bit of a better chance of hitting something that was around that spot. Because if that coin was there, that means they were in that area. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's very true.
So instead of running off into a corner of the field,
just do it all on the screen.
Yeah, that's true.
I was going to ask you about that. Yeah,
I can mark all my finds and stuff. Absolutely.
Yeah, that's super cool.
Have you started playing around with that a lot yet, Joe, or no?
I have not yet. No.
Yeah, I feel like you need to get into a good field and hit the field multiple times. Because I mean, obviously it's got a lot of value having it there. And obviously since you haven't played around too much, I just wonder what visually how that looks. Is it easy to kind of manipulate and figure out when you're in the heat of the moment, or
I think the field would probably be the best place to start, not the woods.
Yeah, exactly. I think one thing talking about just getting around a hot spot and doing that, and one thing and talking about gridding, it reminded me of is that, and I'm sure you guys in the chat field run into the same way, either that or I'm just a complete Looney Tune, but I'll be gridding somewhere, hit a target, and obviously you're working your different angles around that target. I lose track of which direction I was going, like every other line down the grid I go once I hit a target. I'm like, wait, was I going back that way or was I going forward that way? Can't remember. And it's like the ultimate, I love gridding, but that's like the one downside for me is I lose track of my direction.
No, that's true. Yeah, I do too. And speaking of gridding, that's another good way of, finding some of that stuff that you may have missed. You're just trying to cover as much possible area in the most efficient way. One thing I find that Mike and I do when we're in the fields all the time is we grid side by side and we try to cover up. That's what keeps me
in the right direction.
Yeah. So do you guys, when you go out with like a buddy or something like that, do you ever find yourself gridding side by side? Like Eric, when you go out with your brother, do you guys ever do that?
We do, but then sometimes he just goes off. He's down on the other side of it. He'll go off one side and I go off the other. With Jerry, it's Jerry's
he
gone.
Just does
it's like Speedy Gonzalez. It's like,
boom.
You look up and he's down on the other side of the field about a mile and a half away.
Pet show.
Joe looks like Dr. Evil.
Oh man.
So yeah, there's a lot of different ways that you can do it. Messy Hole, they say they just zigzag. He says he loses it, says F it, and just zigzags, which I've been known to do that too, so I don't blame him. But
I have the fisherman's mentality.
I try to focus on what tones are coming up, and try to stick with that line, or if I don't hear anything, I'll zigzag a little bit. You gotta mix it up sometimes.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, it's tough. And so I find myself often, like when we went out with Charlie Harley, Heritage Rail Hunter, the other 2 weekends ago, I had left my 11-inch coil on the night before and didn't prep and stuff like that. But I do tend to often up towards what I call the fisherman's mentality is if you're going fishing with your buddies, you want to be the first one with a lure on and in the water, because that's your best chance of finding something. And it's got no sense of, or no rhyme or reason with metal detecting, right? It's not like the dirt knows it hasn't been touched, but I'm like, all right, maybe I'll be the one to get the 10-second curse and get out there. And it's tough. You want to just get out there. And now it's like, all right, let's take a step back. Let's assess and go on with the strategy.
It's funny when we pull up to a new spot and we got the whole crew at the same time, that's when it sucks the most to be the cameraman and to have all the equipment.
Yeah. Because
I don't know if you guys have ever seen a dog race or a horse race, but in a horse race or a dog race, they have those gates. And then as soon as the gate goes down, you never see an animal move faster. Right. Well, when I'm with these freaking animals, when you pull and put the car in park, it's like the gate went down and these freaking guys are racing. Sometimes 3 seconds into it, I don't even know where Julian's at because
Yeah,
he's
man,
half
my man is gone. I
Right.
noticed that.
Yeah, he's the
Like,
biggest
as soon as the
culprit.
car goes in the park, my man is gone.
The only saving grace is
You're,
if you can get there the earliest, right? That's the thing. Never be the last guy. The last guy is always the last one to strap up and get there. So if you
Yeah.
can beat them there and just be ready, you can be in that first rush. But it's tough.
I'm like getting the tripods ready. I'm trying to get the GoPro out, and all of a sudden, freaking
Julian
we're
already
on
found
10
two
coppers.
So I had him down one time. He came and did a visit at my workplace, and
Yeah.
and I took him out to the honey hole, and man, it was like thundering and lightning, and my man would not give up. I mean, the black clouds are coming over the trees, and I'm like, Julian, we gotta go, and he's like, oh, just wait 1 more minute, I'm trying to find something.
Well, that's the thing. I
Oh,
mean,
that's funny.
getting skunked
give up.
is tough, you know, and you want to be like, all right, well, I know the next one's going to be good. I know the next one's going to be good. And then I mean, you lose track of time after that, especially if you're in your own head out in the field, you know.
You do. When the thing about us is we invest a lot of time into a hunt.
Yeah.
So you want to come out with something. You don't want to feel like, you wasted a lot of time. It's good. And we'll all say it. It's good hunting with your friends and being with your friends, but
Yeah.
it still sucks if you
It's
come
better
out and
finding
you don't have
stuff with
anything
your
in
friends,
pocket.
you know.
Yeah. Yeah. Paul says he's never the cameraman. That's a good job to have right there. The
Right.
never cameraman. Tyler says he hunts drunk. So he's stumbling around the field trying to find sound. He don't even know what a tone sounds like at that point.
Right.
But
That's
that's
why
okay.
I say we got to do like and I think dig stock will be a good one, but in a more rough format, like we got to just get back when Grower can get there, get a couple tents, get out with the boys and just hunt all day. Hunt in the night if you want, have a couple cold ones ready to go or more than a couple. And then rinse, wash, repeat, get up in the morning and hit it,
Yeah.
That'll be
Yeah,
cool.
for sure. I can't wait till dig stock because I feel
know.
like it's
I'm
just going to
excited.
be just a boondoggle,
Yeah.
which is fine
Well,
with
it's
me.
like a gathering of kindred spirits, no matter what.
Yeah.
It's going to be a good
100%.
time.
Yeah. So
Wow, Messy
tape
Hole,
a
that's
pull
a
tab
great
to the
move.
bottom.
Yeah, that's a move. I think I
That
may have
is
said it
strong.
before, but I keep this little
Okay.
copper pellet in my finds pouch that stays zipped up, and I am waiting for the day just to do a side fling and then just let it hit it and circle around that for a second. Let me get out there.
Try that on Julian.
He said tape a pull tab to the bottom of their coil.
Don't
That's
check
good.
my Amazon history. I have 100 replica GW buttons just waiting for you boys to get chased around.
Just wait, buddy. They're coming for you.
Right,
So,
right. Oh,
all right, we're 30 minutes in. You want to start unboxing and unveiling what we got?
I think
from
that's a good
Andy
idea.
O'Neill from
Let
eBay?
me go grab my knife real quick. Give me 2
All right.
seconds. I'll grab that. It's a
Don't
sweet
run with it,
knife
please.
made in Spain.
Yeah, don't
so-
run. We don't know accidents live on TV.
It's a
Yeah.
nice knife. Hold on.
Actually, that might make for good clickbait. So
Yeah,
you never know.
Probably not
So-
good.
We're excited, man. We have the test box that we're going to try out for the first time with the detector that Andy sent us, which is going to be really cool. 500 pounds of mean dirt just being ready to be tested out. So as he unboxes it, that's a knife.
Olive wood
He
handle,
unboxes it.
handmade in Toledo, Spain.
I will say it is not the Apex. We don't have our hands on the Apex yet, but the Apex will be a part of this series of testing. There it is. There's Andy's.
I like that.
Logo.
The sticker right on there. It was nice and easy to identify.
So this will be part of the Apex testing series that we're going to put together, just to kind of give it a little more in-depth information on what's going on in the detector world and that mid-price, those mid-price machines. So get the cutting, buddy. We want to see
All right,
it.
we're ready. Okay, so here, let's just review the exterior. Cardboard, nice, brown. Some
Hey,
big,
if you want to know the way Andy ships stuff, it is very well packed.
it's good. This is legit, man. Packaged well, exterior branding on it.
You didn't show that sticker on the front of the box there.
I did.
did.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did.
Oh, all right.
Boom, right there.
Yeah.
Loud and clear. When I picked this up from Trey's apartment complex, I knew right away that I got the right package. And it wasn't ticking, so I knew it wasn't Trey's other deliveries, you know, or making growling noises. So, okay. Easy open. I see a number and a name and a logo.
Point
You
it
guys
up,
ready for
point
it?
it towards us. Someone had guessed it.
It's reversed, but
Hey, we know what it is.
boom,
Look
baby.
at that. 540.
The
It's the new.
540.
It's the Vanquish, baby. Stoked. Oof. You know, they do a really well job with the packaging and like the aesthetics of it. That looks
I
good.
wish I had a mirror to hold up so that it wouldn't be mirror image, but
It's mirror image for you, but it's perfect for us.
Oh, okay. That's really good to know because I'm staring
Yeah.
into this like, dang, that's.
Yeah,
Oh,
you're
I see it
good.
now on the YouTube. Okay. Woo.
Yeah.
That's
So-
reassuring. So we've got ourselves the Vanquish here. Deep, compact, lightweight.
Yep.
Coin Relic Jewelry Custom. Classic Mind Lab Multi IQ down here. Sorry. Boom. So let's give this
So-
bad boy an open. Let me just. do
As
that.
he's opening that, just to kind of give you an idea, the Vanquish has different levels to it.
Yeah.
He sent us the 540. There is also the 340 and the 440 as well. I think there is a different package that Mind Lab offers, but as far as the settings for the 540, the 540 is the best option that you
The
can
most
get
advanced, right?
yeah,
So-
for the Vanquish.
Yeah, and in here, so they kind of lay out this stuff in the additional possible accessories, but obviously you got yourselves the coil with the coil cover. You got wired headphones. You got USB battery charger. Comes with batteries, always a plus in today's day and age. A rain cover, and obviously you're getting started guide. So I'm gonna pop this bad boy open real quick. Boom. All right, and from the initial get-go, obviously everything's still in its place there. Initially, you can see the rain cover, the strap for the arm guard real quick, getting started guide and all the paperwork, and then you get into the more nitty gritty. And the cool thing I like about this, and really it's one of the few outside of Garrett that has any sort of like relatively extreme coloration with their detectors, right? I mean, you've got the Garrett yellow on the A series.
Yeah.
Then after that, you just get into black,
plain
and more
black,
right?
yeah.
Right. Black plastic, black carbon fiber. You've got the red carbon fiber shaft, which looks real nice. But in all reality, that's where snake skins do so well, right? It's just giving it that pop. But I think Mind Lab did a good job with the coloration. I'm not a red guy personally, but that's because my red beard and my pale complexion, you know, I can't wear it as that color. But, all right, so let's keep opening. Just a piece of storage cardboard. So you've got your arm cuff and the back end of the shaft there. And this is cool. It's super lightweight. It's plugged on the end, you know, but it's squared off, which is kind of cool too. I like that, you know, I mean.
How does it feel material wise, like compared?
It feels really
to
nice
the
actually.
Equinox?
So the flex on this cuff is actually really nice. And right now I've got a 3D printed cuff on there. So it's a little bit more brittle in overall, but it fits my arm well. But just looking at this, I mean, I'm no Popeye, but I got some forearm muscle either way, but it fits in nice there. It's comfortable. The material, the metal on the shaft actually feels really nice. It's almost got like a matte finish to it. So you know, I don't know. It feels quality, which is really nice. So then I just pop this out here. I'm doing the camera. Battery charger. You know, if it is going to take batteries, at least they do provide a charger for that, which is nice. I mean,
Yeah, they give. I think it takes 4 AA, but they are rechargeable. That comes with it, which is nice.
Which I mean, at the end of the day, you know, listen, I remember having to constantly worry about having batteries on me with my AT Pro stuff like that. And I mean, there's bigger worries you could have out there. It's not the end of the world, but at least having the charger, it's got a USB on it too. So worst case, if you're driving to a permission and you forgot to plug it in, you've got some time to throw it in a USB on the car or something like that, and just get it going. So that's super clutch there. Headphones in the box are collapsed. Nice protective cover. Let's see. The wires over here. So let's see. First
Yeah,
impression.
they look similar to what you would get with the 600 as well, as far as the headphones go.
Yeah, so MindLab branded. They do collapse for, you know, a little bit more of a concealed fit there. Styling.
So if people are wondering, someone had asked, you know, what's the price point on a Vanquish? And for that 340, Andy can do, he said 199. And as we're going to allude to, it is a multi-frequency detector, which there's still not a lot out there. There's the Equinox, and I mean, well, at this price point, especially now they have the Apex, but at 199, at you know, at that price point, Tyler said so long Ace series.
Right.
I mean, that what a
199 for multi-frequency. I mean, come on, you know, for a MindLab product that you're losing money not getting that deal.
Definitely a good.
That's cheaper than the Go Find.
Yeah.
Which is insane. Now you can get the 540 plus pack, and the plus pack, Andy was saying, has the wireless headphones as well. So I mean, that's incredible for such an affordable machine. And I think someone had said, Messyhole said, my buddy Iffy Signals, which I think all of us have seen Iffy Signals. He has one of those as a backup detector and says it's pretty decent. So that dog was looking so entertained.
He's just chilling. He's just happy to be laying here. I will point out one thing that I really do like about this, and it's not unique to this machine or others. It is different from Garrett, and it was one of my drawbacks on the AT Pro, and I think I'm with a lot of people on that, is that it's got a straight up normal headphone jack, not one of those crazy multi-pin situations, which I get from a waterproofing kind of perspective and tightening everything up. It is more effective there, but screw it, changing coils at the Garrett, and it's got the similar thing with the headphones. I mean, it's tough on the AT Pro, but
it's a pain in the butt.
But yeah, so this is a nice little feature. And the one thing I did notice at first, so the headphones actually have a snap so that they bend here so that you can collapse, but then they snap back into rigidity so they're the normal headphone style. So ear pads are pretty damn comfortable actually too. And I can still hear, obviously there's no tones, but I can still hear. It doesn't completely eliminate noise. And, you know, when people are sneaking up on you and you're on a permission or something like that, that's the last thing you want. I've talked to people who've said, you know, I only listen with the machine open because I don't want people sneaking up on me, you know?
Yeah.
What's that?
This machine, and you're going to pull it out here in a second, the 540 comes with the 12x9 double D coil.
Yeah.
But Andy had just alluded to the Pro Pack actually comes with two coils. It has the 12x9 and the 8x5.
And that's the one that comes with the wireless, right?
Which is insane. That's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, talk about a get up and go, hit wherever you want to type situation. I mean, it's got everything. So this is neat. The lower portion of the shaft here is completely separate, and it's not like the Equinox series with a straight shaft. Obviously, it's got the offset here.
Yeah. Which
seems like a nice
balancing a little.
Easy clamp there with adjustability on that, which I like.
Cool. Yeah, that's really
just
cool.
Clips right in, and that's damn sturdy. You're not going anywhere with that. And I guess that's where the square body on the shaft itself comes into play. But off the bat, full extension is actually probably a little too big for me. So by no means should you worry about this if you're. I mean, I'm 6 foot, 215. Not that really describes my arm length per se, but you know, although I've got probably about 3/4 of an inch in here, and that's probably more comfortable. So, you know, if you're a lanky person, this is definitely a-okay for that. We've got the control unit here, which obviously is not powered right now, but just trying to do this while watching here. So on the screen itself, the display itself, they all have the same LCD screen, but the 540 comes with like a red backlit light on it, which is kind of cool. So you get some of that, like as you move up the chain, the ladder, you get some of that extra
those extra little things that just add a
Bells and
little bit of
whistles.
value to it.
The bells
So,
and whistles, right?
yeah.
So one cool thing, talking about a get up and go, really well equipped entry ish level. At 199, you have to throw it in the entry category, though not based on the specs itself. But the cool thing is, and as someone who went from a Fisher to a Garrett to a Mine Lab, the learning curve's big. But this one, and I know once you get up to the CTX and stuff, and the E-Track and stuff, you get the two-tone stuff and the four digits. But this is a -9 to 40, just like the Equinox. So I'd have to imagine, and we'll be able to test it out in the field, that eventually, it'll be similar tones and a similar kind of readout, so that you can just evolve into that Equinox 600 or 800 that you go for.
Yeah.
Buttons are straightforward, What's that?
As far as the VDI goes, when you compare it to the Equinox series, this actually, I think, goes from -9 to 40. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, I missed that. But yeah, I was looking
Which
at,
is essentially the same with the Nox at that point, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
it's the same.
it's going to be, So nice thing is with this, and the 800 has it on there too, and I think the 600 is the 600 just doesn't have the profile button, right? That's the only thing it's missing there.
Yeah, you
But
can't
either
have
way,
saved. Yeah, profile.
this has an easy straight up Bluetooth button right there. So I'd have to imagine that's going to be an easy connection. And everything else is pretty straightforward here. The buttons feel good quality, and it's not like it doesn't feel like a button that's going to just kind of crap out on you. It's got a good solid push behind it. Backlight, power, Bluetooth, volume, tone, stuff like that, but pretty straightforward, and it should be pretty good as a starting point there.
That's another thing. As you get that out for the 540, you get the Bluetooth. Whereas if you go to the smaller stuff, the 440 and 340, you don't get Bluetooth. It's only wired headphones at that point. So again, it's just like any other machine. If you pay for the upgrades, you're gonna get some of the cool stuff that comes alongside with it. So there's the lower shaft.
Interestingly enough, the lower shaft is rounded, right? So you've got your squared off portion on the upper part, the cuff portion of the shaft, the upper portion of the shaft squared off, and then your lower portion of the shaft is squared off just at the tip there.
That's just like E-Track. E-Track has the same thing.
Yeah,
It's the same thing, really.
Okay, that's cool.
E-Track has the same exact thing.
That's awesome. Yeah, so I've never had a detector like that, so that's pretty cool. And it's got that squared off locking mechanism as well, so it will kind of sit in there and clamp in. And
how far does it adjust down?
Now let's see. So we'll go from, this is basically the fullest, right? Just the tip. Oh,
Yeah.
Just the tip right there, and then you can go down.
Yeah, feels.
And that's still locking in all the way up to, all the way in. It's still locking in, and it's tight. I mean, you're going to have no issues with stability or security there whatsoever. And that right there, and when you're talking about the ability to, appeal to a younger kid just starting to a full-size 6'3" beefy dude, you know what I'm saying? Like, it could get anyone there. So I'm honestly, this is really sturdy. I like that a lot. So then last but certainly not least is this V12 coil.
Hey Mike, can you hear me?
Yeah,
we can hear you.
Good.
did you say something? Oh, all right, hold on. Andy's firmware up. Okay, hold on. Sorry, let's see. Andy's giving me some more deets there either way.
Yeah, I'm frozen up a little bit.
Oh, yeah, I see you on the stream, slightly frozen. Okay, so let's go back to what Andy said before. I don't want to miss out on any of these key things here. So let's see. Now, Andy, oh, look at that. All right, battery compartment right there. Sorry, I didn't do enough justice on this. And it looks like, the updates would be, let's see, USB in the top of the battery compartment, right, which is right over here. So easy access, not anything crazy. It clips on, clips in real nice. Very straightforward there. You've got your You do have the multi, what's that, the 5 or 7 pin or whatever that is there, but it's very easy access for the coil. Shouldn't be much of an issue. No, it's better than the Garrett in the aspect of you have more flexibility in getting that coil seated in there at the connection. But yeah, I think ultimately the ability to update it is it's next level again, and you see that coming out with more and more detectors. And listen, we're in 2020. If you're not able to remote update, well, not remote update, but update from home and do it in a quick, efficient manner, you know, you got to get in that game. Now, that coming from the guy who has not updated from 1.75 to 2.0 on his Equinox 800. But that being said, it's the fact that I can. That's nice. Not that I will, but I can.
What's the weight on them?
That's a good question.
Somebody's asking.
I got it. Let's see here. It is 2.8 pounds for the 540 and 2.6 for the 440 and 340. So
not bad.
Yeah, 2.6 pounds or 2.8 pounds. That's really nice.
Yeah.
Mike Paul wants to know if there's a seal in the battery compartment.
Let's see.
Yeah, it's not waterproof. The only thing that is waterproof on it is the coil.
Right.
It says waterproof coil up to 3 feet. So you're not going to dunk this underwater, which is one of the reasons that it is on that lower price point as one of the introductory detectors. You're not going underwater with this thing, or you're looking for a new one. So
I will have to say I do really like the grip on this thing. I mean, it's not, you know, changing the world by any means, but it's got somewhat of a softer plastic grip on it that I feel like, you know, obviously if it gets dusty and stuff, it'll catch on there like you see on any other detector. But the grip is nice, and the way that it extends out, instead of it being like the Garrett with the full body of it being 2 separate pieces, it gives you pretty good maneuverability there. So
yeah, that's nice.
I'm pretty impressed with this machine just from an unboxing standpoint. I mean, it's nice. It's really nice.
Now, does the coil
I
wire
can't wait to
snake
feel
through the
that.
shaft?
I'm sorry, what's that, Eric?
Does the coil wire snake up through the shaft?
Yeah, so it's going to be your standard, more of your standard style curl around. I mean, it's
curl around.
External.
Okay.
Right. I mean,
External
yeah,
wire.
you're not going to straight shoot it. I mean, unless you want some coil your wire interference there. So I'm going to the old wrap around. But it looks like, oh, that's why. Duh. I'm like, there's a lot of extra wire here. Should probably extend it out. But let's
There's
see.
a nice red snake skin with that one.
Right? Ooh, that'd be fire.
That's right. Yeah, a snakeskin would look good on it. So as you're doing that, I'll allude to some of the differences. Like you're talking $199 for the 340 versus I think I didn't see the full price that Andy was. I think he said $3 something for the
$499 for the Pro Pack.
Yeah, $499 for the Pro Pack or $369 for the 540. So the small differences that you're looking at is the 340. You have 4 levels of sensitivity, whereas the rest of them have 10. Volume 3 levels versus 10. The 2 early ones, 340 and 440, only have 3 tones, where the Vanquish has 5. So it doesn't go up to 50 or anything like that, like the Equinox. So you got 3 tones or 5 tones on that machine.
Tell you what, though, I've operated my Equinox 80% of the time just because I only recently switched, you know, in that 5 tones, and that's more than you'll need for while you're getting used to your first detector.
Yeah,
100%. 50 tones is
not
something that I would dive into as a beginner, you know.
And again, yeah, this is a beginner machine or an introductory machine. So you have discrimination segments, so how many things you can discriminate out. The 340 you can discriminate 5. The 440 you can discriminate 12. 5, and then 25 for the 540. So those are kind of the different things that you're going to see when you upgrade as far as you go throughout. But like we're alluding to, if you're just looking for an introductory machine that's less than $200, it seems like a good machine to go to, you know?
Oh, 100%. And I mean, obviously you guys will see some test videos on it. And sorry, I don't have it in the screen right now. I'm just trying to collect myself here, but But yeah, I mean, this machine it's the real deal. It really is.
Yeah, we're gonna review it a lot. We're gonna review a lot of this information on a more in-depth video as we test it with the box and do a field test. But it seems like a nice introductory machine and at a really good price point. So
I mean, I'll tell you what, it just feels good to open up a brand new detector.
it does, doesn't it? It's like the
Oh,
morning of Christmas, man.
right.
Oh,
And it
it's
looks
so
like,
nice.
obviously, in typical Mind Lab fashion, your coil has its own serial, and the unit, your detector has itself. So obviously, these are, you can get the warranty logged in on them and stuff like that, which is obviously good. But I'll tell you what, the coil ears are pretty freaking sturdy on this thing. I mean, I'd say questionably more sturdy than my Knox, but that's just me.
Someone just posted about breaking the ears on their Knox.
Knock on
And
wood.
I know you've done it before, but it blows my mind that people are doing it so often.
I did it on my AT Pro, and I will tell you what, I did not realize, I didn't fully snap it off, but only one side, but
Yeah.
and I did have the tornado on it. But that being said, I am getting some coil protectors 3D printed for us, so that should be helpful.
And he brings up a good
printed.
point too. Like when you're on the beach, which we don't do a lot of saltwater, areas, but when you're on the beach, the multi-frequency, that IQ, definitely helps when you're on those mineralized or salty sands and soils. That's for sure.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Which is cool in an intro machine.
Yeah,
Just don't jump
having
in
that
with it.
ability is just, it opens up the whole realm. There's people who never detect a farm field in their lives, and there's other people who never detect the ocean. I mean, I've never done a beach detecting, any sort of beach detecting yet. Do I plan on it? Yeah, but so I mean, from a beginner perspective, this is really where you want to be. So,
Yeah.
coil fully pulled out there. I mean,
The telescopic point of view too is really cool. I like how they're doing that on a lot of machines now.
I mean, listen, there's Trey and I both know this well, as we're dealing with, again, 3D printed collapsing module bits there. But unless you got a Deus really, or I mean, the Simplex compacts pretty well. And, there's not a lot that you can just say, let me throw it into a backpack and go to town. So I think, and not to say that would be the perfect backpack machine, but having the collapsibility, knowing that it's not the full extended possibility of, throwing it in the back and it getting caught on something and bending it, you can just put that right down between your seats in your car and you're good to go. Yeah, man, this is a kick-ass little, but sweet little detector there,
Yeah. Andy says it automatically noise cancels, which is a really good,
wow.
Yeah,
That's
really,
sharp.
really nice detail of a beginner machine.
Yeah.
I say,
absolutely.
I say like our Mind Labs, man. We're all Mind Labs users here, but I don't know about the CTX or the, I don't know. I'm blanking. What do you use?
E-Track.
The E-Track. So the CTX or the E-Track, but I know on the Equinoxes, for the most part, when you noise cancel, you don't get a lot of feedback. There's those very few times where it's just a funky day where it'll give a lot of feedback. But when you noise cancel something on a Mind Lab machine, you don't hear a lot of feedback on them.
No.
Not at all.
And it's wild. And I mean, we kind of experienced that a couple weeks ago when we did that 4 permission day, and we got to the top of this one field, gorgeous field. I mean, picturesque, and the electric
I think we were
fence.
surrounded in an electric fence. I think.
Yeah, it was a weird electromagnetic, some sort of field with the fence and all that stuff going on, and it took a little bit of figuring out where we needed to kind of just put it in the general vicinity to noise cancel. But my machine, quite frankly, I thought I was going to have a seizure just from the noise that I was getting, and then figured out, okay, let me get it right close to the fence, noise cancel. And you feel weird holding out your machine like this, right? But noise cancel it, and I mean, like that, it was just back to normal. So obviously, the more sensitive the machine, the more susceptible you are to that kind of chatter. But the ability to cut that out, or at least nullify a vast majority of it, it goes a long way in your sanity as well as your ability to detect for a long time.
Tell me about it. Yeah. So, Well, that was cool.
Yeah.
We unboxed it. We kind of went over some of the features that the Vanquish has. I cannot wait to actually test it. You know, I think one of the best ways to test it, not saying that the box will definitely be a help, but to
Yeah.
go on a hunt and to do a tone with this and a tone with that and a tone with that, all the same tone, to see what it sounds like and then dig it up. I think that's the coolest way to do it, and you don't see very many videos. So hopefully we get a chance to do that when we're out on the in the fields. So, but that's
No,
cool.
this is a sweet machine. It's got some character to it with the colors. It's got a lot of abilities. It's, from my first initial impression, durable as heck, you know what I'm saying? And definitely would not hurt to add to anyone's arsenal. And if you're looking to join the Mind Lab family, what a great way as an entry point, you know?
Join
Can't
us,
say
brothers
we
and
would,
sisters.
you know, Thanksgivings are big in the Mind Lab family, but you're welcome to come on down, you know?
All right. Well, if you guys are interested in it, just
up
tell Andy that the Copperhead sent you. We dig metaldetectors.net, or you can just reach out to him on Facebook. The dude is a robot, so he will get back to you as quick as possible. Great machine. If you guys are interested in coming on the show and talking metal detecting with us and maybe bringing some of your finds together to review, you don't even necessarily have to have a channel that you have videos on. Just let us know and we can talk metal detecting. We're always interested to see what other people have found across the country, or even where we're at too, or in Europe or wherever. So join us. It has the cover, which is nice. I hope you guys found it interesting and educational tonight. That's for sure. We went over a lot of stuff on the Vanquish. So thanks for watching, everyone. And until next time, bye.
See ya.
Later.
See you later.